Welcome to the Unconventional Wisdom Podcast with Ed Rempel, the show about the most effective methods to achieve financial security and freedom. Find out what really works. Insights are based on in-depth experience from a fee-for-service financial planner, tax accountant, Canada's #1 financial planner blogger, and your host, Ed Rempel. What Canadians are really asking about money right now. Today's episode is a little different from the usual format. I want to take some time to speak directly to you, to say thank you, to reflect what you've been listening to most, and to ask for your input on what would be most helpful going forward. Recently, Unconventional Wisdom was listed near the top of several Canadian financial podcast rankings, including number 3 of the best 10 Canadian financial planning podcasts in 2026 and number 2 of the best 10 tax podcasts in Canada in 2026. Our podcasts also just surpassed 100,000 unique downloads. I mentioned that briefly not as a personal achievement, but because I know how overwhelming it can be to decide what's worth your time. Podcast listeners are perfect for me because they tend to like in-depth insights on valuable topics while commuting, working out, or walking. Independent recognition can be a helpful signal that a show is focused on quality and substance rather than hype. What matters much more to me, though, is why people listen and what your listening behavior tells me about what you actually find valuable. When I look at what people have actually watched, shared, and consistently returned to over time on this channel, some very clear themes emerge. One of the strongest is retirement timing and government benefits. Questions around CPP, OAS, and GIS, and whether to start early or delay. These are high-stakes, largely irreversible decisions, and it's clear many people are worried about getting them wrong. Another major theme is retirement risk, especially when common explanations don't fully reflect reality. Topics like sequence of returns risk, Monte Carlo simulations, and popular retirement myths consistently attract attention. That tells me people want to understand risk clearly, not just be reassured. There's also strong engagement around evidence-based investing, particularly where it challenges unconventional or challenges conventional wisdom. Discussions around equity exposure, outperforming, dividend investing, and long-held assumptions resonate because people want to know what actually provides the most reliable, long-term, tax-efficient growth when you look at the data. A fourth theme is tax and leverage strategies. Things like the Smith maneuver, mortgage deductibility, RSP meltdown, REPL maximum, and cash dam strategies. New accounts like the FHSA and regulatory changes, these aren't beginner questions. They reflect people trying to structure their finances more intelligently over time. And finally, there's consistent interest in big picture questions. Questions like financial independence, how much is enough, how people became wealthy, and what really creates long-term financial security and freedom, not just short-term optimism. Taken together, this tells me something important. People listening here aren't looking for predictions or shortcuts. They're looking for clarity around complex, high-stakes, real-life decisions grounded in evidence rather than fear or sales. That's exactly what I try to focus on, which brings me to the most important part of this episode. I'd like to hear from you. If there's a financial decision that feels unclear or stressful right now, let me know. If there's a topic you wish more advisors would explain without pressure, product bias, or oversimplification, I'd like to hear that too. You can comment where you're listening, reply to my newsletter, YouTube channel, or reach out through my website. This channel works best when it reflects what people are actually dealing with, not just what sounds good in theory. Thank you for listening, for sharing the show, and for asking thoughtful questions. I appreciate it more than you realize. Thanks for listening. My name is Ed Rempel. My blog is Unconventional Wisdom. It's the #1 blog for a full-service financial planner in Canada. It's just edrempel.com or unconventionalwisdom.ca because we're in Canada. If you want to potentially reach out and see if whether we're a fit to work together, we offer a free 30-minute consultation on my blog. It's just edrempel.com/talk. Also, if you subscribe to my blog, podcast, and YouTube, all that means is you will get my weekly posts when I come out. We don't market it in any other way. My podcast is edrebel.com/listen. My YouTube channel is edrebel.com/watch. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you for listening. For more unconventional wisdom insights, follow this podcast, give it a review, and share it with your friends. Be the first to receive all my podcasts by subscribing to my email list at www.edrempel.com. My services and costs are at edrempel.com/help, and you can request a free 30-minute consultation at edrempel.com/talk. I often cover listener questions, so if you have a burning question or topic on which you'd like to hear unconventional wisdom, please ask or share feedback at edrempel.com/feedback. See you next week.